Hey there, thank you for checking out this video. For more great information on or related information or resources about ping pong or table tennis, please visit pingpongracket.org. Today we're going to talk about strategy. And this topic of today's strategy tip is actually related to technique. I don't know if you've ever watched tennis or played tennis. Most ping pong players or table tennis players have. And a lot of the technique in tennis and table tennis are related. In tennis and table tennis, the ball hits, bounces up, it peaks, and then it begins to drop. So we've got a couple of different points of potential contact. Obviously, you've got a contact point as the ball's coming off the table. You've got a peak contact point. You've got a contact point as the ball's dropping. What's the ideal point to make contact? Well, if possible, you want to avoid making contact as the ball's dropping. Why? Well, because it's usually a defensive position if the ball's dropping. If the ball's dropping below the level of the net, the only thing you can do is hit up on the ball and play a defensive shot. So, that's number one contact point you probably want to try to avoid. Hitting the ball at the peak is not necessarily a bad idea. At the peak, the ball has bounced, it's started to come up, and it's just starting to drop back down. Hitting the ball at the peak can be a good place to make contact if you're trying to hit winners. The only bad thing with hitting the ball at the peak is that you've allowed your opponent to recover from their previous shot because the ball's hit, it's coming up, and it's peaking. So at the time when it's hitting and coming up to the peak, there's some time for them to recover. The third point at which you can make contact is called on the rise. This means the ball's hitting and starting to come up somewhere between the contact with the table and the peak. Hitting the ball on the rise is advantageous for a couple of reasons. Number one, your opponent does not have time to recover if you hit the ball on the rise, or they have less time to recover. Number two, if you're hitting on the rise, in general, you're going to be hitting the ball higher than the level of the net, which means you can play the ball aggressively. So, hit the ball on the rise as much as possible. Try not to hit the ball as it's dropping. And I hope that tip or that strategy tip, which is directly related to technique, helps you to win your next ping pong or table tennis match. Thanks for checking out this video. For more great videos and resources, check out pingpongracket.org.